Yeah, good morning once again. I have a very short presentation, and I'm not so used to talking about technology issues, and it's been a while since we talked about technology issues. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, sorry about that technical hitch, but we are in the right forum about digital health and digital things. So they all, just to show that they always don't work well, isn't it? Okay, fine. I just give a very short experience of our country, and one of them is just to tell you that the country is very committed to digitization, and we are working very hard by even adopting cloud computing. I think we all adopted very early when we started our district health information software in 2010. We went on the cloud even when we didn't understand what cloud computing was. And now we are very busy adopting HIE and various medical records. All these systems are very important to our country because they improve the synergies of many areas, and on top of that, they are supporting us to controls. I think, I don't know whether you understand what in our context, controls is that we don't want people maybe to claim you've been here when you've not been here. So maybe a camera will have already seen you. And so we are trying to make sure that they support us. And we also have synergies in like the mobile era. You can send our money from here through M-Pesa and many other things. So all these are areas that we are all becoming digital to a point that a lot of our payments are now almost digital. And there's a joke I was telling somebody that in this country, nobody might be willing to pickpocket you because we actually don't have money in the pocket, but we have money in the digital system. So it's useful across either in economics and also in health. I just want to highlight some few enabling environment. One of them is our constitution that actually gives us the highest standard of health. We also have a Vision 2030 that thinks of information development, and we have the Health Act, is very important, and it actually also prefers mandatory reporting through the National Health Information System. At the moment, the government is so much into e-government. Everything is being done digitally. I just want to highlight a few policies that we've generated, and one of them is the National E-Policy, E-Health Policy of 2016-2030. We have an e-health strategy, but meanwhile, you can see it's ending 2024, but this month, last week, we actually completed the new strategy that has been ratified by stakeholders and is actually ready for being given out. We also have interoperability framework, and this actually supports all the work that we do in making sure that we get data from different systems. And another difficult bit, I use the word difficult because the Data Protection Act, it came in as a big policeman or a policewoman, and we are all struggling to see which role we'll play in it and whether it's a constraining factor or whether it is or it's an enabling factor. And I know some of you have been told to even accept to be photographed, because taking a photograph is also part of, without consent. You see, all these are things that coming up that shape our way we are behaving. We also had recently a Digital Health Act that has some far-reaching actions to our government. And finally, we've had infrastructure and power connectivity. The country has tried very hard to make sure that we have connectivity in various places. But of course, we can never be so free from the digital divide. There are some areas that we don't have enough power. There are areas that we don't have internet connectivity. And this gives us a very interesting scenario where at one time we'll be having a hybrid system. One area is fully digitized and the other one has some paper. And we don't know how we'll handle that. Maybe that's another research question. How do you handle a hybrid system that if you have to print paper, then you have to print paper for the whole country, yet only a small portion of the will be using it. Just before I finish, I just want to give you a little bit now a bit of how these FHIR are being used in Kenya. This is just a little bit of tech, but I'll not allow myself to go deeper into it, but I just highlight some of them. One of them, we've been using FHIR standards, especially for streamlining health data interoperability. And the use of FHIR profiles tailored to Kenya's health needs ensures standardization in data exchange across platforms and EMRs and lab systems and financial systems. We've actually adopted and we are really seeing some good benefits. We also think we've also used this in data harmonization, which acts as a blueprint for harmonizing data across diverse systems, enabling seamless exchange and interpretation of health data between platforms. Although I'm also a little bit technical, I also play the political wing. And politically, the first thing we ask when you are coming up with a new system is to say, is there going to be exchange of data? And actually, there's some people say they want seamless exchange of data, which you know it doesn't necessarily to be seamless because there are certain controls that would come in. But political people are happy to be told this system will be able to exchange data, and the FHIR standards have actually been useful in making sure that we achieve this. We also have the usual use of validation rules that are very useful. The next use of what we've been using this is driving innovation and scalability. I think we all know how this has worked, but the DPI components like the shared infrastructure for data exchange have minimized development costs, making it easier to implement health solutions faster and very fast. So we know we regularly utilize this. And also we have the Open HIM, which acts as a mediator that enables seamless exchange of data between systems using FHIR standards, and it translates, validates, and routes FHIR messages, ensuring compliance with global standards. We also, number 3, we've been using it to reduce fragmentation and improving efficiency. By adopting FHIR, Kenya has reduced the fragmentation that previously plagued its health information systems. We had so many systems, but now, as I put it, we need that interoperability so that we just have maybe one system talking to each other, and maybe the clients would not know which system they are getting this particular information. So health facilities across the country now use FHIR standards to send and receive data in a structured format and using common sources of truth and registries regardless of the software that they are using. And so we'll inform you about our country that we have quite a number of electronic medical records, and we accept all of them. Because if you start bringing only one, then you'll have a conflict of many people because they have invested. But the fact that this can plug in our system and share data, it is actually useful. And so each person can keep their own area and be able to share data without a lot of problems. We have the supporting digital health ecosystem integration using FHIR which acts as a server, provides standardized platform to store, retrieve, and manage healthcare data. And it also enables hosting multiple FHIR stores on a single instance, promoting resource optimization in the digital health system. So this is actually how we are adopting this in our own country. And 5, we also have the Kafka. I think we all know about it, but it's used as a distributed streamlining platform, which plays a vital role in enabling this transition by addressing key challenges related to real-time data exchange. I told you politicians are really keen about this real-time data exchange. And so this is how we've actually been addressing this. And we also improve system reliance, resilience, and fault tolerance. And finally, we also have the decoupling of architecture. So the last part is that we've used this to creating a collaborative ecosystem, and the adoption of FHIR and DPI in Kenya has fostered collaboration among stakeholders, including government agencies, private organizations, and international partners. I would like just to conclude, and these are purely part of my thinking, that we all know that digital systems are complex socio-technical structures consisting of hardware, software, data, people, and procedures. And a well-functioning digital solution requires well-balanced interrelationships between the technical and social aspects of the system. For example, technical problem may have organizational roots and result in organizational conflicts. In the country, we are trying to implement a system for health insurance systems, and we are getting problems. Perhaps some of these problems are not necessarily due to FHIR standards or due to technical issues. There could be a management issue somewhere hidden. And if we don't get to know what people think about a system and how they impact on its success, we should not leave this country knowing that technical systems are perfect. We need to involve the people. Therefore, an understanding of this social technical approach is very important for success. Thank you.